If you like what I make and want to help out the channel, make sure you subscribe to it, turn on notifications, leave a like on the video below, and comment as well. Thanks for your support, guys.
Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the Gekko. Another day, another video for you guys. This is the second part of our 15-part series about the second talent tree, and we're going to talk all about gathering today. But before we start this video, if you're new to this channel and you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you're a subscriber who doesn't have your bell on, make sure you turn on your bell so you get a notification when I upload a new video. We're going to be uploading a lot of videos this coming weeks because of this talent trees and all these different branches. So make sure you stick around. And if you like the content, hit that like button down below. It really helps me to know that you guys like the content and spreads out the word in general. The more likes there are. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything you want to come play Rise of Civilizations with me, there's links down below to download Rise of Civilizations. You should try out the game. And it also helps me out if you download it through the link below. Also, my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are all in the description area. You have the comments. You can leave me comments. I reply to everything. Let's get started with the video. So gathering is one of the most important talent trees in my opinion because it's the one that you will use the most by far. You will always be gathering because that's what this game is all about. So when it comes to gathering, I figured first of all we should have up to 5 commanders that can lead gathering armies, and specifically it'd be good to have 4 commanders which are specific commanders for specific resource tiles. So if you want to do like a mix of tiles rather than focus on one, you can send that specific commander to each tile and pretty much enjoy some extra speed. What we're gonna go look at is first of all the tree itself, and then we'll talk about the commanders that are part of the tree, that have this tree as part of their traits, and which ones we should use for what. Keep in mind that the gathering tree is a 48 node tree, so you'd need 48 points to max it out, and there are some areas that you can actually get away without using, so you could perhaps make like a gathering synthesis or gathering support type of commander which focuses on march speed, maybe to make your movement between tiles a little easier. There's a lot of things you can do. We'll go look at the tree right now and then go talk more in depth about the commanders and how you can use them. Now the tree, the way it works is you start off with some march speed by 3%, then you have attack and defense 1%. All troops get this. And then you have the third level, which is a same buff essentially. It's the same talent for each separate type of resource, which is 30% gathering speed for the specific resource. The next step in the tree is all about health 0.5%, march speed by 6%, or another health by 0.5%. Once you get through the third level, you reach a weird level. This area has 2 nodes, like we'll call them mini nodes, that are required to advance to progress to the one to last step in the tree, I guess. And you have 2 nodes that are actually completely empty, and just if you want them you can have them. If you don't want them, there's no requirement to use them. They have nothing that they need to be done for. So if you want them you can have them. If you don't, just leave them be and save the talent points. And actually once you get through the next step and you get to the one to last area in the tree, there are also 2 nodes for defense and attack that you can get away without using. So in theory, you could get away without using 12 out of the 48 gathering points, and you need 36 to max this out. So you could max out the tree, potentially reach this point at level 36, which is pretty neat. But there are in these like leaves of the branch areas that you might want to look at, like this talent right here, which increases the speed of siege units by up to 30%. If you have a lot of siege, you'd be probably gathering with siege, so it would make your march faster significantly. I personally like this as a skill, that the talent that you get at the end once you reached this area right here. But, or actually, to be completely honest with you, this is nice and all. It's the final gathering 25% for all resources, but I prioritize this bad boy, which we'll get to in a moment. So modified axle is one that you can get back to and maybe end up with 39 points on this tree rather than the 48, and just ignore these three. The way I've been working this is pretty much I'm trying to first of all reach this guy right here, which is the more the better. You get up to 6% extra resources upon completing the gathering of a certain tile, meaning you get 6 extra percent of resources poof for free from the air, from nowhere. So there's absolutely no reason not to max this out and just get free resources. That is one of the better skills, better talents in this tree. And as you can see, what I'm doing with Cleopatra, which I'll explain in a little bit, is I first of all went and made sure that I can gather gold and stone really well. And then I'll go ahead and work on this guy to unlock this tile right here. And then I can actually reach here. Once I reach here, I'll keep working on this side and finally get the 25%. But it'll take a little bit of time. That's how I am approaching this tree. Let's talk about the commanders now and which ones you can really use, which ones have these branches and how you should set them up. So the commanders that we're going to go look at are Centurion, Constance, Gaius, Sarka. You have Joan of Arc, which we talked about in the previous video, and we're going to talk about her again today. And of course, you have Cleopatra. Now, first of all, let's talk about the 4 primary commanders you should use for the 4 types of tiles there are. We're going to start with Constance. Let's go find Constance. Where is she? Where is she? Hello, Constance. She is a wood gathering commander. Her second skill gives more percentage for gathering wood with her versus other resources. So when you max her out, you should have a 20% bonus gathering on wood or 15 on any other resource. On top of that, on the third skill, you get some load bonus. So if you're going to go look at the way her tree is set up, what you want to do is probably emphasize on the wood first and then do what I was saying, which is get to here. This specific commander is the only one that you kind of got to get away from the path to here to first of all get her talent correctly and then go this way. In most of them, you can get away without the wood gathering until you reached this area, but it's a shame to leave her without the extra gathering speed. So Constance, when you max her out or you reach a certain level where her gathering tree is maxed out, she's a great primary for wood. And as you guys can see, my Constance is on a wood tile. You should try to make sure that you use correctly every single one of your commanders in order to maximize your efficiency. The next guy we're going to look at is Gaius. Gaius is a food speed gathering commander, and he prioritizes food. Unfortunately, I'm not gathering food right now, so he's on a different tile, but I set him up in a way that he first of all had his food gotten done and ready, and now we're getting into the 6% extra. As you can see, I can get away completely without using this one and leaving it for the end to gather the extra 25%. So you really want to prioritize this side of the tree unless you're working on wood. So Gaius at a certain level will be the food master, and he will gather food primarily unless I need him somewhere else. The next one that we're going to go look at will be Cleopatra, who is the stone gatherer. Her second skill, which I haven't unlocked yet, is stone gathering. It goes up to 30%, and the reason it goes up to 30 and not 20 is because stone takes longer to gather than wood or food. So this kind of offsets that difference. And on top of that, as far as I'm concerned, in most situations, what they tell you is get this leveled up first all the way to level 5, then upgrade the star power to get the next one, and that way you can use your sculptures more efficiently. However, I think that I'm making a mistake by not unlocking this skill of hers and randomizing between the two. At this point, worst comes to worst, I'll get one more of these, or I will get a better gathering speed, which is good for me as I'm using her as a gatherer. So I might go ahead and make the change and upgrade her to another star level so I can get my gathering going. However, I was kind of on the fence about using gold stars for gatherers at this point. So we'll have to see how I go with her. But she is the stone gatherer, and of course she has much higher load bonus, which is just awesome because it makes your stone gathering even easier. I would set her up just like this with stone priority like you guys saw previously, and I also gave her gold priority first just because I gather a lot of gold and it's just better for me to have more gold buffs at this point. So we went through Constance for wood, Gaius for food, and Cleopatra for stone. And there isn't really a gold gatherer out there. There is, however, one of the commanders that we already spoke about in the previous video, and I mentioned she would show up on this video as well, which is Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc is, in terms of skills, the one who has the most gathering speed bonus for all types of tiles. Meaning she is the perfect candidate for us to convert her for a gold gatherer and of course any other resource, because really you can max her out and just have her anywhere. She's an awesome leader. The thing about it is, when she's a lower level, you're gonna want, in my opinion, to prioritize her maybe as a synthesis commander like I have been, or you want to prioritize her as a gatherer. It's completely fine. If you use her as a leader for specific things, like I've been using her maybe to I've been playing out her barbarian abilities to put her as a leader of barbarians, having a secondary barbarian commander. And yes, I understand that there is the whole peacekeeping tree, but synthesis might be better with a combination of healing skills. So I've been testing things out. You can't really know until you try it, and if I see it's useless, I'll swap her into a gathering completely. But for now, first of all, I made sure that her gold is up to 30%, which is where I want to invest her as a gold leader. And then I went on to do synthesis, and that's my personal take on her. I use her as a gold gatherer. You guys can see her out right here on a gold tile. So if you guys look, you'll see that my Sarka is at the stone gathering tile because, well, I just don't have enough power on Cleopatra to make her a leading commander yet. And Sarka has a higher level in terms of like the gathering abilities, so she's leading right here the stone. You can see my gold with Joan. You can see Constance on wood, and on stone yet again you have our friend Centurion and Gaius, because, well, it's just they're both relatively high level, which gives them more speed in general on that tree. So the way I look at it, you have Constance for wood, Gaius for food, Joan of Arc for gold, and then Cleopatra for stone. Now on top of that, you have Sarka and you have Centurion that you can add as secondary commanders or as primary commanders in certain situations. The thing about them is that Sarka has only up to 18% gathering speed bonus, which is lower than Joan, which is why we chose Joan as a gold gatherer. And on top of that, if you decide that Joan is going to only maximize synthesis, like I said in the previous video, you'll still have enough points to use to make her a gold gatherer. So there's absolutely no reason not to. But you can use her as a secondary for some easy 18% speed. And the same can be said about Centurion, who has only a 10% speed and load bonus. So these two guys can really be used as secondary commanders. Their talent trees, they're kind of useless, I guess you can call it. And once you reach a point at level Castle 22 where you have 5 marches, you're going to have an extra commander. So maybe having Sarka is not that bad of an idea as the 5th commander, leading commander, and have Centurion just join whoever you want him to join, like probably like a gold gatherer, so you have faster speed on that gold. But yeah, these are the 6 commanders out of 28 that really have gathering in them and are super important to look at and to keep in mind their abilities, their skills in the way you prioritize their tree. So that's how I looked at the gathering tree. You guys can see I'm slowly working on each commander on the gathering tree. It's been super useful. It saved me a lot of time. So you guys want to make sure you're on top of your game when it comes to gathering. Again, gathering is a 48-point tree. There are only 6 commanders who are part of it, and you're really going to need at least 5. If you decide to keep Joan of Arc out of there, you still have 5 to go with. But Joan of Arc is one of those where I would put her as a secondary gold gatherer and primary synthesis. unless you're really all about the gathering, and in which case just stick her in the gathering and then later on change it to synthesis. The beautiful part is that you can always talent reset, so you could experiment and try things on your own. That was gathering. The next video is gonna be probably about the most common commander talent tree branch out there. So the most common tree branch that exists on on a big part of the commanders. Almost 50% of the commanders have it, and it's in the blue category. So we're gonna do our spin around, finish the blue category, and then go on to the next red category. I'm the Gekko. Guys, thank you very, very much for watching this video. If you found it useful, informational, please make sure you hit the like button, share this in your, I don't know, like line chats, Discord chats, in your alliance chats. Help me spread the word. I really, really would appreciate if you guys took a second to post this everywhere and just get your alliance mates in here so we have a fruitful discussion. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, you guys disagree with me, think I'm completely out of my mind, you guys are more than welcome to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. Also hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want. All the links in the description. I'm the Gekko. See you next time. Peace.